Welcome to the Birthing Through Hypnosis Breech Baby Turn exercise. And if you're listening to this, I assume that you either suspect or you have discovered that your baby is in a breech position. And as we've talked about during the course of this series, and especially in the ideal position video, you want to do your best to make sure that your baby is in an ideal position, a head down position with their spine along your belly. And so please get into the most comfortable position you can while having your belly hang off of your spine. And while you can do this exercise lying on your side, that's fine. It's better than lying on your back. I would encourage you to do it while you're somehow supported on your hands and knees to feel comfortable. Or even in a downward dog position for some of the time, moving your hips. If you are past 34 weeks and you know that your baby is head up, you want to be really proactive. And we've talked about this in other videos. So please watch the position video if you haven't already, and get into that comfortable position and visualize your baby turning. Your baby can turn. Your baby can turn. So may it be so. Blessings on your journey.
As you listen to this audio track, you'll most likely enter a state of deep relaxation. Because of this, you should never listen while operating a moving vehicle or while performing any task that requires your full attention. This audio recording is in no way being represented as medical advice nor as a prescription for medical procedures. As always, you should seek the advice of a medical doctor or midwife to answer any health-related or pregnancy-related issues surrounding your pregnancy, labor, and delivery. I'm not a doctor or a midwife. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I believe in the power of the mind. This is Kristin Nemser, and my intention with this audio recording is to help you turn your baby into an ideal position for your natural vaginal birth. The first thing that I want to mention to you is the position that I hope you're able to get into for this exercise. First of all, it's important that you leave plenty of time to relax to do this exercise, to listen to this audio track and spend some time after listening to continue to focus on improving the position that your baby is currently in, so that your baby ends up in an ideal position for your big day of birthing. And the position that I want you to be in right now is to be lying on your side with your belly slightly tilted forward, so probably how you're sleeping at this point in your pregnancy. And so just allow yourself now to get into a comfortable position on your side, maybe on your bed, with a pillow under your head if it feels comfortable, maybe a pillow between your knees, and then just leaning slightly forward so that there's a little gravitational pull on your belly, just enough that it's almost like your belly button is just a little bit hanging off of your spine, rather than lying tilted back or just completely on your side. And I'm going to talk you through this exercise of visualizing your baby, helping your baby through hypnosis, through using your mind to know what to do, to be able to help you and your baby work together in the most ideal way possible. And so the first thing I want you to do is just gently close your eyes and know that throughout this exercise, if you need to move or shift at any time, you're welcome to do so. Your comfort is really important. Make sure you've gone to the bathroom, maybe you've turned off your phone. Allow yourself to close the door and so that you'll be undisturbed. Just really taking time for you and your baby to work together right now. And just allow yourself, first of all, to just imagine that your intention is to relax your body as much as possible. getting the news that your baby is in a less than ideal position, whether your baby is posterior or whether your baby is breech, it can be stressful and tension building. And to be able to give your baby as much room as possible to move into an ideal position, you need to be able to relax. And so the first part of this recording, that's our intention, is to create as much relaxation in you and your baby, your womb, as possible. And so right now, I just want you to gently close your eyes and just allow yourself to imagine that you're in a beautiful place. That place could be right where you are right now. That place could be in a meadow filled with flowers, butterflies. Could be on a lovely beach. Could be in a hammock. It can be anywhere that's special to you. It feels like you can just imagine that the surroundings are perfect for your baby to relax as well. And just allow yourself to imagine that in this place, there's plenty of light. Whether you're indoors and you imagine that there are windows where the light can come in, or whether you're outdoors and just the gentle sunlight is shining down on you, just allow yourself to feel that warm light as it touches your body. And you can imagine that you can feel that warmth on your belly. And just allow yourself to start to imagine that you can use your breath to breathe in this nice warm light. And it's almost like you can imagine yourself starting to glow as you breathe in this light. So I want you to imagine that your head and face are the gateway to the rest of your body. That if you're able to feel relaxed in your head and face, that the rest of your body will feel much more relaxed. So just allow yourself to start to breathe this warm light into your head and face. You can breathe it in through your nose and mouth. Just imagine that as you breathe it in, you can feel that warmth and that light start to fill your head and face, and just imagine that any tension that you've been carrying there can just melt away, just drain into the earth. You have no need for it in your body. Just allow yourself to bring this warmth, this glow into your forehead, your scalp. Allow yourself to breathe that relaxed, warm light into your cheeks. Feeling the relaxation that goes along with this warm light in your nose and ears, your brain. Allow yourself to know that you can really let go of what we're doing in terms of the outcome right now. In this moment, the outcome is really dependent on your relaxation. The most important thing for you to remember is just allow yourself to notice if there's any tension, and if you notice any, let it drain, let it go. Let it be replaced by this warm light that you're breathing in to your body, this beautiful place. And then allow that warm, relaxed light to come even more deeply into your body. Allow it to flow into your neck and throat. Imagine that it can drip down your arms, into your hands and fingers, till you could even imagine that at the end of each finger, it's almost like little flashlights are shining out through the tips, just very gentle glow coming from your eyes and your ears and your hair. And then continue breathing this warm light into your chest. Allow it to open and expand your heart. Allow this warm light to illuminate your heart. Just notice how much bigger, more expansive your heart feels than when you got pregnant. And as you've had this baby growing in your belly, that your heart has been growing too with love. Just the love and excitement that you feel for this little being in your belly. Just allow yourself to feel any tension in your heart just dissipate and allow it to expand even more. Allowing yourself to realize that the reason that you're lying here, the reason that you want your baby to turn into an ideal position is because you love so deeply. You love yourself, you love your baby, and you want this journey for your baby to be as easy as possible into this earth, into your arms. Now just allow yourself to notice how this love is informing everything that you do. And then allow yourself to breathe this warm light even more deeply into your body, into your belly. Just imagining your womb lighting up, your baby being bathed in this warm light. So relaxed, so beautiful and peaceful, getting closer to being ready for his or her birthday. And just allow yourself as you get to this place in your body just to imagine that your womb is just as big as it needs to be. Just take a minute to take a few deeper breaths than normal. And as you take those breaths, push your belly button away from your spine. Just breathe in deeply and find a little bit more space in your belly than you normally do in a breath. And just give your body the message that there's plenty of room for your baby to move into a perfect position for birthing. Just allow yourself to feel that even now, even as your belly feels swollen, you can still create a little bit more space with your breath. Noticing that when you push your belly away from your spine, that you're expanding those muscles. You're doing the opposite of tensing them or contracting them. So just let yourself breathe a little bit more deeply right now than you normally do until it passes from your mind, and then go back to a relaxed breath. And anytime throughout this exercise that it passes through your mind again, just allow yourself to take a slightly bigger breath than normal and create that little bit of extra space for your baby. Just telling your baby that there's plenty of space for them to be able to move into a head down, spine forward position. And then allow yourself to bring this warm light into your hips and bottom. Just imagine that your pelvis is melting with this warmth. Just so movable, so open, so ready for your baby to be able to move through. Knowing that your pelvis is never as supple as it is when you're ready to give birth. And just imagine that warm light then dripping down through your legs, past your knees and ankles, into your feet. And you can imagine those same lights coming out of your toes. Just knowing that you're glowing head to toe. full of relaxation, full of light, full of love, and full of your little one. Just allow yourself to take a moment to really feel your little baby. And allow yourself to remember that your baby is in this in-between stage, in between life and mystery, where your baby is certainly alive, but very much dependent and very connected to you. And just allow yourself to imagine and believe that your thoughts matter to this little being, and that during this exercise, your thoughts are thoughts of encouragement and guidance and teamwork, recognizing that some of what you're doing is giving your baby instructions on what your baby needs to do to get into an ideal position. So just allow yourself for a moment to talk to your baby in your mind. Just explain to your little one that now is the time to prepare for childbirth, that you want to work together to make your baby's entrance into this world, passage from the womb into your arms, as gentle and smooth as possible. As you explain this in your mind, as you pass these words on to your baby, just allow yourself to imagine that your baby understands. Tell your baby that the day is coming soon, and you can give a general estimate of how soon. You're not trying to rush your baby's birth, you're just being clear that your baby shouldn't come before a certain day, but that after that day, it's safe and appropriate for your baby to come. And that in that window that you're explaining to your little one, that what you need your baby to do now is to get into a position where his or her head is near the opening, near your pelvis, near the cervix, where your baby will move into the birth canal to be born. So right now I'm going to describe the ideal position that you want your baby to be in. So allow yourself to tell your baby that you want your baby to be head down. And just visualize what that is. Use your thoughts to explain to your baby what that means. Head down. You want your baby to be spine forward. And what that means is if you were to rub your belly, that somewhere along your belly you would encounter your baby's spine. And where that is exactly, it's not as important as that it's there. So your baby needs to be head down and spine forward. Other things are less important, but you can visualize them to give that suggestion that your baby's head is tucked and that their arms are in. And so it's like they're a little ball, head down, spine forward, chin tucked and arms in. You know, a ball that's ready so that when your uterus starts to contract and move your baby into the birth canal, that your baby will move into the position that's most ideal to be able to be moving smoothly and easily through the birth canal and into your arms. Think about the position that you've been told by your caregiver that your baby is in. If your baby's posterior, this means that although your baby's head is down, your baby's spine is along your spine. This is not the most ideal position for your baby to move smoothly through the birth canal. So in that case, what you're doing is you're telling your baby that you need your baby to turn. Just spin just a little bit so that their spine is forward. And so, since you're lying down with your belly down just a bit, so that gravity is pulling your baby towards your belly button, that's what you can imagine. Imagine that your baby's spine is being pulled towards your belly button. That's all. Gravity tends to pull the heaviest part of the baby toward the earth. And so if you imagine that just that little bit of gravity can help your baby turn, and that extra bit of space that you can gain from those big breaths that we practiced before and that you can go back to now, can allow your baby to turn. And if your baby's head is up, if your baby's in a breech position, then what you're going to be imagining is more like a dive into your pelvis. Like you're telling your baby to dive along your belly button, like nose towards your belly button and then into your pelvis. And that there's plenty of room for your baby to do this dive, to dive forward and down until their head rests in your pelvis and their spine rests along your belly. And so just allow yourself, now that you've given those instructions to your baby, to make sure that that state of relaxation, being filled with that warm light, is still very present in your body. Just take a few breaths right now in this beautiful place to refresh that light and warmth and relaxation. Make sure it's as present now as it was before. Allow yourself to feel your baby also in that warmth and light and relaxation. Your baby knowing exactly what it needs to do to be able to shift position. Take a moment to allow yourself to visualize the birth that you've planned, that you want to have. Just start off with where you plan to give birth, whether that's at home or in a birthing center or a hospital. Just imagine that atmosphere being as calm and welcoming as possible. Imagine that the people that you know and love and trust, that you've welcomed into your birth plan, being there, surrounding you with love and surrounding you with competence, support, and everything that you need. Whether you need water or something to eat, whether you need a hand to hold or a shoulder to lean on, whether you need words of encouragement, just allow yourself to imagine those people and imagine just the strength of you and your baby, knowing what you're doing. And just imagine that on that day, your baby is in the perfect position, head down, spine forward, chin tucked and arms in, ready for this journey. Allow yourself to know that your cervix will be able to open after 9 months of holding your baby tight and safe, that your cervix will yawn open and allow your baby to pass into the birth canal. Your baby will be in the perfect position to turn like a corkscrew through the birth canal, just as your body and your baby's body were designed to work together. As you do this, your first dance with your baby's head molds and gets smaller, and your pelvis expands and gets bigger. The miracle of birthing will happen for the two of you, your bodies working together in perfect harmony. And then allow yourself to hold your baby in your arms, just knowing that this is everything, that this is the moment that you're working for. Just let yourself see that little being, so beautiful, healthy, breathing, and watch their lips move, their tongue, watch their eyes open, their hands open and close. Just imagine taking your finger and brushing it on your baby's cheek, just feeling that soft, delicious skin. And just know that this little being is part of why you're doing this exercise, that you're doing the work to allow that gentle birth to be possible. Take a moment to notice if there's anything in the way of that beautiful birth. Just notice if there are any fears, anything unwelcome, anything you haven't prepared for, or that's left undone that has you feeling uneasy. And I want you to take a moment now to let those fears inform you if there's anything that you need to know or anything that you need to do. If it feels like those fears are extensive, then I would recommend that you listen to the Birthing Through Hypnosis Fear Release audio track as you prepare for your birth. Releasing fear is an important part of releasing tension. That if your mind isn't fully on board for your baby to be born naturally, then your body may not be fully on board for your baby to be born naturally. And if those fears feel more manageable, just allow yourself to listen to them now, and then imagine that as they deliver their message of whatever it is that you might need to do or plan for or think about, that once the message is received, that warm light just dissolves them. That warm light is a beautiful gift that turns tension that can be hard and black and immovable. It can turn it into dust, just melts it, takes it away, until there's nothing but relaxation left. And so as you visualize this ideal birth, just notice if there's any tension in the way. And if there is, make a commitment to addressing whatever it is that that tension holds so that you can release it, so that your baby can be born as gently as possible. So now that you've connected with this very relaxing, warm light, you've connected with your baby and educated your baby on the position that he or she will ideally be in for your birth. Now that you know the position you want your baby to be in, and that you've released any tension or fear that may be in the way of having that birth, I want you to shift the physical position that you're in. Instead of lying on your side with your belly down, just take a moment to turn a little bit more into what some people call child's pose. This can be a little bit challenging when you're pregnant, but you're basically going to get onto your hands and knees, and you're going to allow yourself to let your upper body rest on the ground while your knees are as bent as they can be while still supporting your belly. You don't want your belly to be smushed on the ground. Depending on your body, it may be that you need to be up on your knees with your upper body resting on a pillow, and it may be that you can sit back a little on your heels while your upper body is down. It just depends on your body. But basically, your head down, Your hips are higher than your shoulders. So just allow yourself to take a moment to get comfortable in this position. Gather whatever pillows you might need, whether that's for under your shoulders or under your knees, whatever it is that you need. If you need to pause this recording for a moment while you gather those things, you can do so now. Allow yourself to get as comfortable as you can in this head down position with your bottom higher than your shoulders. And just allow yourself to notice that in this position, gravity is pulling your belly towards the bed or the floor, towards the ground. And allow yourself to take a couple of those very big breaths where your belly button is pushing away from your spine. I think of these as balloon breaths because you're making your belly even more like a balloon than it already is. Just allow yourself with each of those breaths to make your belly big, expansive, and allow gravity to do her work, pulling your baby off of your spine. This is an important practice during labor. Just allow yourself now to focus on this position, because this position can help your baby to turn in this moment. So just allow yourself to go back to what you know about the ideal position that you're requesting that your baby move into. This head down, spine forward position. And allow yourself to notice that when your bottom is in the air and your head is down, that your baby can become unlodged from the pelvis. So sometimes during pregnancy, our babies can settle into a less than ideal position. It's almost as if the pelvis holds them there in that less than ideal position. So by putting your bottom up and letting gravity pull your baby down into your belly button and also out of your pelvis, you can unlodge your baby from what was holding them in place. Since we live in a world where gravity tends to pull our babies into our pelvis, you're turning that world a little bit upside down right now in a very gentle, safe way. And if at any time this position doesn't feel good to you, you should get out of it. It's not a position that we need to stay in for very long. This will just be for a few minutes. But if at any time you don't feel good, just take a pause on this audio recording and go into a more natural position where you feel well again. Sometimes pregnancy is unpredictable. You need to listen to your body, so make sure you listen to yours as you journey into this position. So just imagine that your baby is just floating, as if your baby is free of the pelvis, maybe for the first time in a while. As you do those big breaths, you can just imagine that light and warmth just emanating from your belly. Just imagine it as almost like a spotlight that's just shining into the earth. If you can imagine that your baby is sending out light through your belly button, it's quite a sight. And that your baby is free to play, free to move, free to spin and dive and do all of the movement that's required to end up in an ideal position, because they have the freedom of not being in the pelvis in this moment. And so tell your baby again where you want him or her to end up. And now that they're free from the position they've been in, that they're free to float and swim and dance, that you want them to move into that head down, spine forward position. And then just allow yourself to take just another minute to make your belly as big as you can. So take a few more big, deep breaths Just tell your baby over and over again, head down, spine forward. Come on, baby, work with me. We're doing this together. Head down, spine forward. I love you. I want you to be able to have the most gentle birth, this most gentle, beautiful entrance into this world. And all you need to do is float and move into that perfect position. And then allow yourself to come up onto your hands and knees. Some people call this position the cow position or cat-cow, depending on if you're moving your spine. But just allow yourself to come up onto your hands and knees. And in this position, your baby is starting to feel gravity a little bit more normally, a little bit closer to what they're used to. And you're going to take another minute in this position to keep talking to your baby. Keep visualizing what you want. That posterior baby turns until their spine is forward. That breech baby dives until their head is down and their spine is forward. That your baby, no matter what position they were in, ends up in the ideal position for birthing. Just allow yourself again to feel this warm light. Allow yourself to feel the connection to all of the other women that are pregnant right now. All of the other women that are wondering about their upcoming birthing experience, that are wondering what it'll be like to meet their babies. Just allow yourself to feel that web of love and support, and feel how it's extended through time, backwards and forwards. It's a pretty profound thought. Just allow yourself to know that throughout time, most babies end up in the ideal position for birthing. It's very uncommon to have a baby in a less than ideal position on the day that they're born. Trust in this moment that this is
Part of the journey and process.
that's brought you to really focusing on this birth and this baby and working together. And just trust that that's perfect for you, for whatever mysterious reason. I want you to take a moment in this hands and knees position to move your spine as you breathe. Allow yourself to inhale as you bend your spine and push your belly button toward the floor. And allow yourself to exhale as you curve your spine toward the ceiling. And do it again. Take a big breath and push your belly button down toward the floor. And allow yourself to curve your spine, pushing it toward the ceiling as you exhale. And just feel how much space and how much movement there is in your body. Do it again. Push your belly button toward the floor, and then exhale with your spine curved toward the ceiling. And just allow yourself to move back and forth with your hips just a little bit, almost as if you're wagging your tail. And then allow yourself to come up on your knees. So you're in an upright position on your knees. Just take a moment to bend your chin and give gratitude for this healthy body, for this healthy baby, for this opportunity to give birth. to follow in the footsteps of the women who've come before you. Allow yourself to, again, imagine your baby in the ideal position for birthing. Imagining that your baby is now head down, spine forward, just curled up and ready for this journey into the birth canal whenever he or she sees fit, and that you're ready too. You're ready to open your cervix and your birth canal. You're ready to open your arms and your heart and your family to this little one. And you want to do that in the easiest way possible. So just allow yourself to notice what you feel in your body at this moment. That for now, this is the end of this exercise. And that depending on what you have felt during this exercise, it may be important to listen to it again. Just allow yourself to take a day and see what your body feels like tomorrow. And if you need to listen to it again, do so. Sometimes babies are more settled into their position than others. Some babies will turn easily, where others may take more encouragement. So just notice what your baby needs. And there are times where there have been moms who've ended up having to have some kind of help in turning their babies. And this recording can be helpful even at that point. Even at that point, the relaxation and the focus and the intention can be helpful. Most babies just need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help, a little bit of relaxation and extra space. And I hope your baby is one of those. And so as we end this time together, I just want to send my most sincere blessings to your birth and your baby and your family. Just knowing that my intention in doing this recording is to help in whatever way possible to have birth be the most natural, sacred, beautiful event possible. Knowing that I feel blessed to have had resources that helped my babies be in an ideal position for birthing, and that profoundly affected my 3 birth experiences to be so transformative and powerful. And I wish the same for you. Thank you.